Yes, we are
Yes,
live.
live.
Good evening, everyone. Team Bias welcomes you to yet another episode of Poetry with Antara and Deyasini. Our theme for today is the power of silence, and we have with us Professor Mahua Shengupta and Sonali Chanda, our esteemed guests
Perfect.
for today evening, who will be reciting their poems on the power of silence. Also, we are calling for submissions of poems on the theme Where Can You Find the Stars? And the registrations for the writing program season 4 are also open. To know more, please visit www.tellmeastory.com. I'll now quickly introduce our first. Sonali Chanda is an Indian writer and poet. Born in suburban Kolkata, she completed her post graduation from Bardhaman University in English Literature and Language with a special paper on figure of speech. Completing her post graduation, she pursued her degree course in wild and landscape photography from Delhi School of Photography Institute. She is a published author and poet. We welcome you and a very good evening. Also, we have Professor Sengupta joining us today. Born in Uttar Pradesh's Mirzapur, she grew up in suburban Hooghly in West Bengal, schooled in Auxilian Convent, Pandit, and Hooghly Mohsin College. She graduated in physiology from Presidency College, Calcutta, pursuing her master's degree and PhD in physiology from the same university. Presently, she is an associate professor of biotechnology at Assam University, Silchar, engaged in active teaching and research in immunology and nanobiotechnology. She's been writing poetry for the last 20 years, mostly in Bengali. Her first poem was published in Desh Potrika in 2003. She has 5 books of verses to her credit, namely Iyamar Chhaya Jonmo, Chiro Horit Gatha Shopturshi, Taramach Nakchabi, Brishti Dipper Kobita, and Premer Kobita. We welcome you, Dee, and a very good evening to you. So, as we all know, the theme for today is the power of silence. And you know, silence is considered to be a metaphorical emblem of women's historical powerlessness, revealing the political mechanisms behind it. Right now, my window is open. It's quite a big one, and I can see the Diwali lights sparkling with all its might and magical, yet lambent, of each offsetting the individuality of the other, and yet sparkling so brightly. So yes, I'll definitely we will discuss about the power of silence. But before that, I will invite Professor Shengupta to recite her poems for us.
Thank you so much. Thank you, first of all,
Thank
for
you.
inviting me. And
Pleasure to
I
have you.
basically write in Bangla.
Yes.
So what I will do is that I will read the original poem and also its translation.
Okay.
Yes.
Please go ahead.
Thank you for the
I will have
introduction,
to disclose one
Deyasini.
line, is okay?
Yes.
Is there
Sorry?
some echo? Can you hear an echo?
No, no, it's perfect. You please
Okay.
go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you
But
so
why
much.
are the sound rebounding again?
That
Sorry?
Sonali ji, that may be due to some network issues. So that will happen. But we can like I can hear all of you.
Okay.
Okay, okay. Carry on, carry on. Okay.
My first one is Majhi. সারাদিন ঢেউয়ের অজস্র অক্ষরে মুহূর্ত নির্মাণ, সামান্য সময় অসামান্য হয়, শত ব্যস্ততার মধ্যে আন কথা উপঢৌকনে, ভুল নেই কোনো, এই উজ্জ্বল ব্যস্ততা তোমাকে শোভা দেয়, অযুত নিযুত বর্ষের অবসর, অখণ্ড রোদে মেঘে যেমন আমাকে, লিখে যাও নদী কি করে অবতলে ডুবে যাওয়া, এই অস্ফুট সতেজ তুচ্ছতা মহার্ঘ করেছ এসে নিবিড় সখ্যে, গুণ টানো, গান লেখো বৈঠার ছন্দে, জোয়ার ভাটার, লেখো দ্বীপ, লেখো নৌবহর, ভাওয়াইয়া ভাটিয়ালি সুরে লেখো অপার্থিব মুক্ত পারাপার। The oarsman. All day with the many letters drawn on waves, we create moments. Ordinary times rendered extraordinary among myriad errands with verbose gifts to each other. Make no mistake, these bright engrossments suit you well, like the retiral of a million years suits me. Right, O river, how to sink silently into the deep, unspoken mundanity made dear with intense friendship. Row, boatsman, with songs in the rhythm of your oar, in high and neap tides, right island, right navy, in Bhavaya Bhatiali notes, right unearthly enthralled crossings. My second
Wonderful.
poem, thank you so
Such
much.
profundity in the lines. Please continue with your
Uh,
second poem.
Thank you very much. My second poem is Kotho. এখানে পৃথিবী এখনো প্রাচীন, ঈষৎ গ্রামীণ ও অরণ্যময়, চারপাশ ভেষজ ঘামে ভেজা, তোমাকে দেখায় সে বুনো লতার আড়ালে ঘাস পোকা আর জলঝাঁঝির ভেতর রঙিন মাছের সঙ্গপান, যার ঝাঁক উড়ে যায় উচ্চকিত হ্রদে, গাছের নিঝুম ডালে তক্ষকের ডাক, সবচেয়ে উঁচু টিলা, সামনে আদিহীন অন্তহীন পথ, পাশে জেগে বিল আর পঞ্চশস্য ক্ষেত, কাছাকাছি চা বাগানের ঢল, দূরে ইট খোলার চিমনি ধোঁয়া উগড়োয়, তারপর অন্ধকার নেমে এলে তুমি শুরু করো গল্প, অন্য সব শব্দ স্তিমিত হয়ে যায়, রাত গহন হয়, মাথার উপর হীরের সিথিপাটির মতন ছায়াপথ, নক্ষত্র বিথি, নিস্তব্ধ 10 দিক, শুধু তোমার অনন্ত কথার অন্তহীন সুষমা জাগে, যখন অনাসক্ত বলে যাও আলোকবর্ষ দূরের কাহিনী। তারপর অনেক অনেক রাতে শীতল কফিনে ভরে অনায়াসে শ্রোতাটিকে বুকে তুলে নাও, যাও চলে কালান্তরে। The translation, the narrator. The world is still ancient here, kind of rustic and woody, wet with a herbal whiff. She shows a silent you wild climbers shielding a grasshopper, and among the marshes, colored fish in hiding. Flocks of screeching parrots fly above. A gecko calls from the hushed branch of a tree. From the highest mound we see stretched before us a road without an end or a beginning, cropped fields and a lake, undulating slopes of tea gardens, far away a bleak hill turning out smoke. Then darkness descends as you start your tune, all other sounds drown, the night deepens, a star-studded galaxy up above looks like a tiara of diadems. Silence drips everywhere. Only incessant words create infinite grace. When you, detached, tell your fables from million light years beyond, deeper into the night, you place your listener tenderly in a cold, luminous coffin, enclose her to your heart, and move towards a different lifetime.
Terrific lines.
Oh,
Terrific.
wonderful,
What a
wonderful.
way to end the poem. Fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Brilliant,
Antara,
brilliant.
yeah,
The
absolutely.
translation is more brilliant. I think translation is more brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Antaradi, uh, would you please take the session ahead?
Okay, Deyasini, before that, should we listen to Shonalidi, these
Yes,
poems, and then can we go on to questions?
yes, sure.
Shonalidi, okay.
Okay, she just went offline.
Yeah, there must be
Yes,
some network issues.
yeah, there
Yes,
must
there
be
are.
some network issues. I think we should wait for her. Yeah. So, Antaradi, yeah,
Okay,
she's back.
she's back. Okay.
Yeah, I'm adding her to the screen.
Yeah, it's network problem. Network.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shanadi, what are you reciting for us?
Uh, could we follow?
Yeah, I'm
It's
saying, what are
again
you reciting for us?
rebouncing. The sound is rebouncing.
Okay, please recite your poem, Antaradi.
Shonalidi, please recite your poems.
Okay. Yeah, this is clear. Okay. No, first, listen, I am starting with my one poem that's quite related with something silence. You
Hmm.
know, silence. That's when I roam in the hills and mountains. There's a different type of silence, and I always connect with their way of speaking, their way of standing alone. You know, the silence is there in the hills, and my actually my this is my conversation, an imaginary conversation with the hills in silence. Okay, so this
Okay.
is the theme of the poem.
Okay. Please go ahead, Shonalidi.
Okay, okay. The poem, first poem is conversation. There is no perfect arrangement of words for the hills. It has its own dialect, own punctuation that is quite different to access. Some say they speak less. They speak and reveal it again and again. But sometimes I connect with their low voice, very low, to a D. Even if you try to listen, you would find a solemnity. They speak very less. The land of the silence, almost the land of the monk. Monks don't speak out how they came in the hills. why they choose hills. I know the hills speak less, and they like less speaking companion. Sometimes I agree there are truly many scripts and dialects of the hills. In their each folds, they have their different tones and tongues. Sometimes I feel their stumbling, I feel their ups and downs of their rib cage under the starless sky. They whisper, weep. I feel their pulses. They are either way, even in the rare moment like dawn. I stand in front of them. I get towards or stand by the point to listen their low sound. Winds sometimes distract them. Whatever it is, in these listening and low speaking, I try to read them, their low voice, their less speaking dialects. I can't put their language into words. You should learn to know why they speak less. My reciprocal approach towards them is a pleasure. When you love something or someone, you always want to read them with your intellect. I like to torn apart my own script to disappear myself so that I can work on their script. I can work on their speech that's written in their diaphragm with my own dialect. I speak in their language with punctuation. You know, though they speak less, they don't use full stop. That attracts me much. I accept it with my utter interest, with arguments and acceptance. Sometimes I get nothing but silence. Sometimes I find so many words amidst their silence. Short that are not known, stories that are not known, briefs and joyous songs that are still unheard. Thank you. This is my first point.
Excellent. Quite extensively, you have explained silence, in your poems. And it seems you're a nature
Thank
lover,
you.
Shonalidi.
Yeah, I roam in the hills and almost connected with nature.
Okay, so please go on to your second poem.
Okay, my next poem goes on. This is also related to silence. Something, this is powerful. Silence, how much powerful silence is. Uh, I tried to um, express in my words. So this is the poem going on, Power of Silence. Okay. Forgotten the lips that kissed you once, where and when, that arms had given you the motionless rest. You had forgotten her painful days and remembered the eve as forbidden paths. Nothing had changed her, neither she pain, for she knows the hummingbird will return again. Today in her heart, they bring some different musings, as she knows that love doesn't vanish away. Just it changes its shadows and shape, returned again in her lonely window panes. Is there any hurt in your heart or any mountain in your mind that brings dust in your eyes? Something got lost from you, perhaps, and you were in search of it. I guess so. Someone difficult to meet and get along with, like puzzle that about to unfold. But I'm sure you may not unfold the puzzle as you don't know the jigsaw way. Oh yes, that puzzle I am, that lost way I am, that lonely floating dusty clouds, the thorns I am, not the yellow flowers. And you mistook me, like others did, the skylark I am, whom you searched since ages and didn't meet once. Just ask to that silence, whatever it confessed in its prayers. I am the only silence that you were carrying with you. Don't you fetch me, dear, as I change my shape according to your response. Thank you. And this is my
Excellent.
second poem.
Thank you. It was like overwhelming. So, as
Thank you very
today's
much.
episode, yeah, welcome, Shonali. So, as today's episode, the title of today's episode is The Power of Silence. So,
Yes,
we know that to be silent is a state when we do not speak or make
right.
any noise, but it has immense depth to it when we discuss about its power, control, and its
Hmm.
influence over others. So,
Hmm.
my
Right.
first question for today evening is for Professor Shengupto that how do you decipher the power of silence?
Okay. Please call me Mohua. Please feel free to call me by my first name.
Oh, oh sure, surely.
Silence can be powerful. I feel that if it is, if one has the ability to interpret its implications. You see, I like to write poetry. So I indulge in building up on words. But both the speaker and the listener, or the poet and the reader, they know that words sometimes fall short, and they have a language of their own, and the language that language is I mean, of silence, and they communicate with that because some words become inane if they're uttered. So, and moreover, I also feel that the entire structure of a of a poem is built up of words, but the words interspersed with silence. So the silence also contributes to what the poet wants to say. So it is not only the words that actually voice what she is saying, but also the silence in between. So that also speaks volumes. That is what I feel.
So, according to you, Mohuadi, that silence itself is a language, in itself is a
It
language
is a language.
of
Yes,
communication
absolutely.
for any
And
poet.
for anyone
So,
for that, if one knows how to interpret it,
that is so excellent that it has got a
Very true.
bit of
Very
subtlety
true.
to it.
Very true. Yes.
It has a
What an explanation!
thank you
Amazing.
so
And it has got that subtlety to it, that
much. Hmm.
subtleness also is there
It does. Yes.
it
Very true.
into it. So that was wonderful, Mohuadi. So now same, question for Sonalidi as well. Like if I ask you, so how do you decipher the power of
Look,
silence?
this is not very simple to explain silence. Rather,
True.
it's to explore. It's
Very true.
yet to me, it's quite confidence and quite comfortable zone. I want to remain in silence, and I love to remain in silence actually. So to connect with utterly silence, as I personally love silence rather than chaotic world. To connect with my poetic journey to poetic ecstasy, as Mohua ma'am already told, for poet, the silence is itself is a language. Yes, of course.
Language.
More quieter you become, the more you listen. When I personally think that words, when aren't valued, you should be silent. Then you connect more. Then you can understand. Then you can resonate more. When your words are not valued, so we should
Shonalidi, do you think like it takes you to a meditative state for any
yes,
poet, as you're a poet? So do you
yes,
think it has got that meditative,
yes,
quality
of
in it?
course,
It's
of course. I do admit. Sometimes we should give ourselves some time to meditate or to be in silence, uh, to think or to connect with poetry or the realm of poetry or to meditate. For that reason, we should meditate. It's very necessary
yeah.
for us, at least for the poets. Poets, or I think it's also necessary for the artists also. There's some drawings or some artwork one is doing, that he or she needs to be in silence to resonate his artwork. So meditation, in one point, it is very necessary to for us. We are always writing, scribbling, and always doing rendition, everything. But to some point of view, I think meditation we need, but actually to learn more, to resonate more with poetry. It's my view,
Be-
actually. I don't know Mohma ma'am what will, she said. Uh, it's my view, actually.
And yes, exactly. And as you said, Shonalidi, that being silent or in this mode of silence when a person is in or is into, it helps you to self introspect. At least it
Yes,
happens with me. It helps
absolutely,
to,
absolutely,
it helps in self introspection. So,
absolutely.
so I didn't just sharing a little instance during this COVID, this lockdown situation. I think it helped us or each one of us to self introspect with
Yes,
oneself.
of course.
When
Very,
we are
very valid.
confined,
Yes, yes, very valid
whe-
point. This is.
when we could not go outside of our homes, we were confined. So
You were
there was, I think, there was.
yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
Mohammadi, tell what you have
No,
some.
no, please continue. Please continue.
Oh, no, no. I think so. That point of time or that period of time was
Yes,
very crucial for each one of us.
true.
When first lockdown started, so there was a self confinement with oneself and also from the outside world. So, there was I think, option and opportunity for us to be in that silence and self introspect with
Yes,
oneself.
yes.
Very
So,
true.
We
that
Very
got
true.
more
happened with
scope.
me
No,
actually.
we got more scope to learn
Exactly.
our own introspection.
Exactly. Exactly.
Ever
So,
since we were very unsure about the very next day. I mean, who is going to be there and who is not going to be there. I mean, everything was so uncertain. So that is in itself is a very humbling kind of feeling.
exactly. When we were, on TV news, we were watching that the number of cases are increasing, the death
Increasing,
toll
there's
is
so much
rising.
death.
So,
Yes,
automatically, that silence comes. We don't feel
exactly.
like, so there was a lot of self introspection. At least it happened with me. So I'm just sharing with each
Yes,
one
yes,
of you.
absolutely, absolutely. We all face that situation.
So the word is silent or silence, but it has got, you know, dynamics. The dynamics of, or it has got a lot of dynamism, into it. So let's go on to our second question for today evening. That being silent also encourages us and helps us to channelize our efforts. You
Right.
know, and so has there been any instances in your life, Mohuadi, when you have felt empowered being silent? Was there any
Uh,
instances,
yes, I
or
mean,
were there any instances?
on a lighter, I mean, in our daily life, uh, silence can have an individual and a collective connotation. So, on a lighter vein, in an individual connotation, when I want to ignore someone who is being a nuisance, for example, so I don't. I mean, his or her comments don't merit an answer. We say no comments, right? We say let a thousand flowers bloom. I will not. We don't protest or we don't comment. So as George Bernard Shaw said, that decency is indecency is conspiracy of silence. So that is uh, we just say no comments, right? In the family front, sometimes there are things that you find that are not. I mean, not to your king, for example, but there instead of at a when the vociferous protest, if you choose to keep silent, there's no impact basically. On the
Correct.
collective front, I would like to say that there is a threshold of that, and silence sometimes may mean weakness also. So that is in this case, I would like to quote Bob Dylan that how many times does a man turn his head and pretend he just doesn't see? So sometimes we have to voice our angst, but there are many occasions, even in my life, that I haven't answered because I have chosen to keep quiet, chosen to keep silent because once again, Shaw is one of my favorites, so I'll just quote him once again that
Surely,
true
please
silence
go
of
ahead.
all true silence of all virtues, for by it you hear other men's imperfections and conceal your own. So
Mhm.
that is again on silence. Yes,
Wow, that has a lot of depth into it. That quotation by Shaw, which
yes,
you just now quoted, it has so much
yes,
of depth into it. So you say, ma'am, that in certain occasions it is better to keep silent, right?
yes. That empowers you more.
Exactly. And do you think, ma'am, it has influence over others also, like it within your
Does
family or relatives or friends? When you are silent, as you told, that it's a language of communication. So they
see, I've
automatically they are.
yes, yes. Please carry
Yes,
on.
ma'am.
Please
Please
carry on.
continue.
Okay.
Uh,
Uh, Actually, I'm a teacher. I'm basically a teacher. So I have to communicate with my students. And once the teacher, they develop a bad habit of, being a teacher everywhere, even in the family side. Thing is that I've found with my own kids as well. Sometimes instead of, shouting at them at the top of the voice, just to keep silent, that has more impact on them. I mean, they understand that hardens them, that they understand that this is something serious. So this is okay. This holds true for everyone actually, even for me, even for me. So silent protests are
Exactly.
noted.
Silent protests are, but in certain cases, obviously, we need to raise our
Yeah,
voice.
we
But
have to read.
yes, obviously, but their silence is, it has got immense depth to it.
There's a
So
threshold to
coming to Shon,
everything, basically. Yes.
exactly every individual, not only women, every individual. So Shonali, same thing for you. Like, were there any instances in your life, or was there any instance in your life when you have felt empowered being silent? Any
So
occasions? Could you
actually,
recall or recollect?
I didn't faced any incident that I failed to empowered by silence. It's
Okay.
my one of the empowerment is silence. So one
Wow,
incident
that's
I can
that's again
remember now that
superb.
that uh, one some years before when my mother was there, uh, she was undergoing already preparing for her one operation, and it was a very critical operation. So many chaos was there in our house. Our relatives are coming and all they are taking decisions. Everybody are giving some advices. So many chaos was there. I got completely silent. Actually, I was empowering myself with silence. Silence, how I should deal the original situation in. Actually, when the situation is there that my mom, all the relatives will come, they will give some advices, but they will not deal with the actual operation when that will go on.
Absolutely.
So that will have to face by me and my dad. So I got silent and took some decisions, and I departed myself from them. Absolutely isolated myself to empower myself through silence. And that I can remember that for 2 days I didn't speak to anyone, just to chalk out the problem, the what I should do, and what should be taken the measures by myself and my dad, and all they are saying, whatever they are saying, let it go. Just be silent and think yourself what you should do. So this is an empowerment that if I got engaged somehow with the chaotic advices on that, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't take even decisions regarding my mother's illness. So I just remember that in this discussion, suddenly I remember this incident that for 2 days I got totally silent, only to empower myself what to do, what should we do, what should I and my dad should do, and take the decisions where to admit her and how the operation would be made. And this is the empowerment of silence that never failed. Actually, I never failed to reconnect or to connect with silence. Every time in my crisis time, whenever I wanted to connect with some important decisions or some important studies or some discussions or online something, I just keep silent and hold it, just to empower myself, nothing else, to empower myself what I should do. This is a quite unique empowerment that I always get through silence.
And Shonalidi, you were mentioning about isolation. I'll just
Yes.
call it's a catchword for every one of us. Like, do you think that at times, on few occasions, we like being amongst everyone, at times we need to isolate ourselves just to be in that silent mode, or just to be on track. That
Yes, yes. Of course, I think. Of course, I think. during that you see that during the pandemic so many people, so many lives already got ruined, and we were already getting news that that much dead at a number of deaths. We are getting the news of number of deaths. So I think that in that situation, when the chaos is going on, everybody was frightened and making discussions, what to do, what should we do, where to go, how should we prepare. I just isolated myself, just because to avoid the chaos. Otherwise, you can't. You will already will go on that stream, and you can't think for yourself and how you should take measures. You can't think anyway. So at times you should isolate yourself to think, to resonate with yourself only, for your betterment, for your well-being, or for your better thinking, or I mean your better way of thinking. You should isolate.
Even I just want to share one thing about my grandmother. I used to watch her, since childhood, that she was always within the family. You know, she always, we had whatever we have learned since childhood, moral values, ethics, it's from our grandmothers, they are very close to us. So, but you know what, even engaging into all sorts of household activities, after completing all the household chores, there was a certain time which she took out for herself,
Yes,
and
yes,
she just isolated herself, and she used to do some japa, with that Rudraksh. She used to do some japa and self introspection. And during that time in my childhood, also, my grandmother used to tell me, you should take out some time for yourself and be in that silent mode, be quiet, be calm, think
yes.
little before you leap. Sometimes you should take out time for yourself also, and for that you have to be silent, you have to go into that silence.
Yes, that's I wanted to tell. That's I wanted to tell. Sometime you should take, or you should keep some time, so maybe half an hour, maybe 15 minutes, whatever. But you should keep that time for yourself only, to be in silence, and to you can meditate, you can everything, you can do, you can think about yourself, what you had done for the whole day, and what you should do the next day. Anything you can, but you should keep some time for yourself. Just in silence, you should think, or you should meditate, whatever you can do.
Mohuadi, please, you are quiet, please say something on this.
I'm exercising the.
Oh, no, 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 please, no, no, we want to
Actually, I am
uh,
in complete concurrence with what Sonali is saying and what you said.
As she got silent
Actually,
with her leg,
I
I think
actually,
it's Penny.
really, not really, I'm fine. Actually, Antara, what you said, introspection, that is the key word basically. I'm in complete agreement with you.
because in order to self introspect, you have to be on that silent mode, in that silent mode,
Exactly.
because until and unless you are silent, you are quiet, you are calm, you cannot go into that state of
True.
consciousness or awareness also. Even silence helps you to build awareness and consciousness. So even
True.
that is a completely different part altogether. So this session was all about discussing about the power of silence,
Power of
and which
silence,
is,
yes.
and it has it is huge, it is immense, extensive. So it cannot be completed in one single session. I think, like, it is so vast, you know. So so carrying so from this truly enriching session, I think we and all our audiences, we have taken so much. So Deyasini, you want to say something? Please say something, or if you have to ask something to Shonalidi or Muhadi, please
Um,
go ahead.
no, I actually had one question for you. I was listening to you all this while, and
In
I
silence.
was yeah. So I just yeah, I wanted to ask you. There is this common association of power with the dark and the terrible. But why is it that? What do you have to say in this regard? I mean to say, beauty, innocence is equally powerful. But then why is always power associated with the dark and the terrible?
May I address this?
Yes, sure.
Okay. See, point here is that dark traits are easily associated with ethical, moral, and socially adverse beliefs and behaviors. So we associate darkness with these actually, because we attribute a sense of immense power to the unknown, to what we do not know, what is unknown to us. It is like we anticipate that the unknown opponent is going to be so powerful, almost at the verge of being despotic. But darkness also has positive and negative both associations. In the negative associations, it is associated with anger, aggressiveness, fear, sadness, bereavement. But in positive associations, darkness can be it can include attraction, sophistication, elegance, even love. We fear death because that is unknown. That borders on the realms of the unknown. But if we consider it positive connotations, then we can moron decision from. That's my take on this.
Yes, I absolutely agree with you, Devi. But I sometimes feel that uh, there should be a change in which we look at this term power, right?
Right.
Shonali, would you like to say something, or do we conclude?
Actually, it's rebouncing again, and I couldn't
Okay,
follow the.
okay,
Everybody's voice is rebouncing again.
okay. Pradeep, could you
Shonali,
Especially
I'm
there.
just repeating the question. Like if we say the power of silence, is it associated with light and dark? When we talk about darkness, and does it bring only or does it ushers in darkness, or it also ushers in some new opportunities or hope and beauty if we associate silence, a power of silence with it? Because at times it brings both darkness and light. It's very much paradoxical at times. So
Yes, yes, yes.
in that sense, in that way,
Got it.
what is your
Got it.
take on that?
Actually, to me, darkness is not at all disassociated with me or uncomfortable with me. It's not at all terrible also. Rather, the most powerful energy that I should like to tell you that as Mother Goddess, I do believe that as Mother Goddess, Kalika is the omnipotent feminine energy. Okay, and she resonates darkness and overpowered by darkness also. So the most sensitive and dreadful feminine power, that I personally do believe also hold the energy in darkness, you know. And within me, I also hold that. I want to hold that darkness to resonate or to empower myself, the feminine energy or power or whatever you think, whatever you want to tell, that is empowering myself through silence or darkness. They both are very close to me. And right since from my childhood, I am practicing. This is the way of life. I am practicing. So the divine outspring that in my childhood, my grandmother used to tell me the stories. She is the outspring of Sati. That is the most dark and most black. That is what is dreadful. That is most powerful. And that is most suitable. You know? So I took that idea or her perspective as my learning, and I just use in the way of my life also, that uh, these darkness, sorry, is quite equivalent to silence also. To me, it is, whenever I feel suffocating with the world's chaos, no, I just need to get detached from the all the lights and all the sparks, and I just want to go in darkness with my silence and darkness. I just want to stay there.
Yes, we should
So
not use the word
Yes.
darkness. The word darkness is not to be used. Actually, what happens, when a storm suddenly when we had Amphan, you know, so it's at times, so there is a silent storm, when there is silence prevails everywhere, it also
yes, yes,
indicates a silent storm. So in
yes,
that
yes,
way, we just used the word darkness, but definitely it also brings hope along with it.
yes, yes.
So
Definitely.
Where
One
there
minute,
is no
sorry for you. Just
devastation, there is no new arrival or new beginning.
exactly.
Yeah. Just if I just want to, I just would like to thank Deyasini for a beautiful question. And what Sonali said actually reminded me of that particular Simon and Garfunkel, The Sound of Silence. That hello darkness, my old friend. So what Sonali said basically brought that song to me basically. Yasini, thank you so much for this question. This was a wonderful question.
Thank you so much. Like, I would like to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being with us today. And it was our pleasure entirely. So,
The pleasure was mine.
Antaradi,
Diyashini, should I conclude?
yeah, yeah, please go ahead.
Okay.
Please.
So thank you again, Shonalidi and Mohuadi, for enriching us.
Thank you very
Uh,
much. This is a wonderful evening with Mohuadi and you and Destiny, my big Didi, as my as a little bro. I am very thankful to her.
Yeah, very thankful and very grateful to you for having me here.
Our
yeah, and
pleasure. Our pleasure, Didi.
exactly, it's really a pleasure to have both of
Yeah.
you, today to have with us.
And
And
listen
I
And
to
am
your
so
wonderful
I was so
insights.
excited to get Mohua ma'am. You are telling ma'am she is my Didi also, and I was really excited to sit here with her.
Yeah.
And
We are mutual admirers of each other.
we are admirers of both of you. So thank you again for your presence and participation in today's session. It was
and
truly
it's a very
wonderful.
special evening hosted by you. I
Oh,
should thank you. I should thank you.
welcome, welcome. So tell me
I
your
will be.
story in
I like to be with you again somewhere someday.
who
Yeah,
me, me,
see,
or
maybe
Muwadi.
someday
Yes,
next year
yes,
we will,
Antara,
but
Antara. So good hosting. So good hosting.
yes,
Thank
yes.
you so much. And Tell Me Your Story invites all of you for submissions of poems for its first poetry project, a project
Yes, yes.
under Voices and Verses by Deyasini and Antara. And the theme of our project is Where Can You Find the Stars? And the
Yes, yes.
poetry prompts is in the link tellmeyourstory.biz. So, on this note, thank you and
Always
good luck,
welcome, and I
everyone.
will.
Good night.
Bye bye.
Stay
I
well,
Thank
will.
you,
stay
all
I will
of
blessed.
try to
you.
support you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.